Welcome back, everybody. On this edition of the Academy Express, we're going to be going over an effortless but elegant updo. Updos are very taboo, and a lot of people don't like to do them in the salon because they take too long, they're too hard, or they don't like to deal with the clients, or uh, there's not enough money. There's so many reasons why people don't like to do updos. And I think personally that anybody can do one. B, you have to organize yourself properly so that you can speed up your time. And C, you just have to have a plan of action of how you're going to do it. There's basic steps when you're working on updos that if you follow these basic steps, you will be able to do any type of style because there's really no reason to not be able to offer that service to your clients. But let's get started. What do we need to begin? You're going to need a comb, you're going to need some clips, you'll need a styling brush, you'll also need a curling iron. I'm choosing to use the smallest curling iron I have because the end result is a very curly, defined curl type of shape. So I think that I prefer a smaller curling iron for this. I've done it with a larger iron. I wasn't really excited about the end result, but again, that might be, what I feel, and you might enjoy a larger iron. So I say try it and see what you like. There's nothing wrong with this. There's no wrong answer, and I think that once you understand the technique, then you can adjust it. Maybe you don't like the end result here, but you've learned specific techniques and certain types of movements, and maybe you've just learned something that you never thought about before in the first place when it came to styling. So I just want one light bulb moment and I'll feel like I've accomplished something with this. So grab your iron, grab the smallest iron you have, grab your clips, your comb. You're gonna need some styling product as well. That's key when you're doing any type of up style. So I'm gonna be working with our Sunlight Styling Spray from Accru, New York. I'm also going to finish her off with our styling balm. Also, I'll be using the dry texture spray as well. But I'm gonna wait till I get into feeling out the hair and how the curls start to expand on whether I'm going to use that. But I am prepared, and I do have it in arm's reach if I do need it, and that's key as well. So setting yourself up for success, and so that you don't have to go looking for anything during this process. You'll also need bobby pins and hairpins, and that's it. So you want to always start, and this goes into planning your style out. So I pre-sectioned her out. This is going to be the French twist. I'm going to leave it alone until I'm done with the curling part. If I was to do the twist part, I could, I guess. But for me, I feel like this is going to take the longest, so I want to tackle it first. Okay? The way that I sectioned it is I went about 2 inches, inch and a half to 2 inches from the hairline, basically as the head starts to round. And a slight diagonal, just back, right above the parietal ridge. And then from there, I cut it coming through. So basically I knew I was going to create almost like a diamond shape. It's a very small diamond shape. So I'm going to break the head up into 4 panels, 4 quads really. So when you're working on a set like this, you just need to get through it quickly. And I think that breaking it up into the 4 quads is the easiest way to get through it. And you can see that I've gone ahead and just like clipped the back out of the way. And then I'm just going to split this front part into 2. put this out of the way. And then I'm just going to work with our sunlight styling spray. So trying to product. We're filming from my computer is always interesting. So working with the sunlight styling spray, I'm going to just spray each section. Now I'm going to break this section up, but instead of going every single time, every section spraying it, I think you do one full spray and then you can, I'll get 3 curls out of this and then I can move on to the next. Okay, so spraying it really well. The sunlight styling spray is awesome because it's a really nice firm hold, but it also allows you to go through and rework the shape as many times as you want. You can layer it and layer it and layer it, and it never really builds up on the hair. And it's really like an extension of your hand. It's really a fun working spray. I'm going to alternate working back and forth with my iron, really getting it pretty tight at the root area, okay? Because that's going to help me, like when I pull this hair up, it's going to give me that definition that I want. So my first panel is done. You can see there's a good amount of curl. There's a ton of shine, and that's from the product as well, so that's good. Again, I keep talking about product, but I feel like a lot of us are scared to use product when we're doing updos, and it's really important that you have the right one, and that you do use it, and that you use them properly, so that you don't get any type of flakes, that doesn't dull the hair. You always want the hair to look healthy and shiny, but you also need it to have some hold. So, I'm not putting any type of oils or serums in the hair that would give it shine, but it would also hinder the curl and the longevity of the style. Now, you also want to have the flexibility and the versatility to change the look up. So if something's not working out, you want to be able to have a product in there that it's okay to switch it and it'll still allow you to create a new style off of it. It's not just going to create a shell and then it flakes. So, understand the product. The styling spray has a flexible resin, so it's allowing me that capability to, if I don't like what's going on, I can switch my game plan up and it's still going to work to my benefit. I'm going to complete the entire underneath with the same type of curling iron set. So I'll do the back. I'm going to section the back out. I'll break it up into this panel. I'm going to break up into 3. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to alternate the same way. So one section I'll do more vertically, and I'll alternate back and forth. The next section I'll do more horizontally, and I'll alternate back and forth. And then the third section I'm going to do horizontally as well, and I'll alternate on base and off base. Okay, so I'm going to do that the entire way around, and you get to it as well, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so last panel here, and the entire thing has basically taken me about 10, maybe 15 minutes, maybe. So it's all about, your plan of action. Working smarter will also allow you to work quicker. Okay, so again, maybe 15 minutes max. This whole set has taken me. Okay, so let's just continue. I'm going to break this up into 3 sections, just like I did on the other side. It'll be just like this, alternating the exact same thing I've been doing from vertical to horizontal, on base, off base, and yeah, just keeping alternating it, and so let's get it done. So the set is complete. So now we want to just go through and just clip each quad out of the way, just real quickly. You don't have to worry about destroying the set because you're just lightly pinning it. You're going to go through and rake your fingers through it anyways in a little bit. But this is basically just so that your client doesn't have hair falling in her face, really, as you're putting the next step up. Okay, so you could have done this as you were working. In the salon, I would never let my client have hair in her face. So in the salon, when I was done with the front panels, I would have clipped them out of the way for her. Now, we're gonna work with our French twist technique. Okay, so just this middle panel here. Okay, so a French twist technique is you're basically going to be back combing, and well, I'm going to be using a brush because I like the result of a brush back comb. And there's different times that you would use a comb for back combing, but in this instance, I'm doing this technique because I want to create a base. Okay, and so you'll see that the brush is going to make it a wider, thicker base without making me have to like go down into this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through, and I'm also going to spray a bit of the styling spray in before I start my back brushing. Just a little bit. Now, I did wash my mannequin's hair before I started this, and that's something that I think is important to talk about right now, because when I'm in the salon, I always wash and dry my clients for any type of style. And in the past, they say that it was kind of like have your clients come in a day old, dirty, and so that the hair will go up better. For me, I feel that that is pretty much setting you up for failure, because even if you tell your client, just wash your hair, don't put any product in it, you don't know really what they're washing their hair with. Yes, you could say that, well, I sell them shampoo and conditioner, but okay, maybe that conditioner you sold them is too hydrating for an updo. Maybe it's going to weigh the hair down for what you want to do. Maybe they ran out and they quickly went to the drugstore and got who knows what, and that would weigh the hair down as well. And some clients don't really think that oils are products, so they think that they're just like conditioning their hair with coconut oil, and then you try to go through and put a curling iron set in that and see what happens. It doesn't really turn out that well. So basically what I'm trying to say is set yourself up for success. Again, you wash the hair, you can blast it dry, you put the conditioner in that you think is necessary for them. Maybe it's a leave-in, very light leave-in spray conditioner, or maybe it's just something on the ends. But you have control over what conditioner and what products go into their hair. Then you've just set yourself up for success, because again, you know exactly what you've prepped the hair with. So again, I book an hour for all of my updos, and that includes that wash and blow dry. So knowing that, I wanted to make sure that I kind of thickened this up a little bit more. That's why I put the styling spray in, just so that as I start to do my teasing, that it has a little bit of grip to it. Okay, so I took a center section. I went, and I'm going right down the center. With my brush, I'm doing a motion like this. It's like a C. Okay, I'm not just going straight up and down. Okay, what you don't want to create are little locks and clumps of hair. You want it to be one solid mass. Okay, so once you have the center down, Then you're going to come through to your sides. And then you always want to blend the sides in. So you see how I'm like doing that C motion again? And as I'm doing that, I'm grabbing the center bit that's already been teased. So I'm marrying them together. Okay. And then with a French twist, you always want to use your bobby pins, and you're going to pin a little off center. Okay. So I'm going to come through. You don't have to worry about making this like super smooth. Again, this is your base. So nobody's going to see this, but you do want to practice nice technique. Okay, so I'm going to come through and I'm going to pin a little off center. Okay, so I've used 5 pins. One of the biggest complaints, well, 2 of the biggest complaints that I hear a lot from clients about their updo experience is it took forever to get the teasing out. Because it was so packed in there, and there was a million bobby and hairpins that they had to maneuver out. So, that goes into your prep, right? So the product, if you use the right product, you don't have to, that's a tool, so you shouldn't have to use a ton of hairpins or bobby pins. You shouldn't have to really go in and back home to where they have these like matted locks that they have to like soak in a bathtub with conditioner on their head. So the styling spray allowed me to get a really nice base. It allowed me to get that grip that I needed for when I was doing my back combing. And then, my pinning, I have nice bobby pins that are not going to push out on me. Again, I've used 5 here. And then we're going to just go through and do a classic French twist technique here with our fingers, which is, we're basically going to be rolling this hair. So coming through, I like to take my 2 fingers and I'll place it about halfway down the section. Okay, it's about halfway down the section. And then what I'll do is I'll come through and I'll take these fingers and I'll start wrapping that hair, those tails, underneath. And then I can just grab. Taking a hairpin, come through, and you lock it in. Okay, so you're going to go in. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. This is it. You're going to go in, and then come out, and then go back in. Okay, so this is very solid right now. I'll put one more in just because, but that's good. And basically what you want to see is you want to see this twist just following the head shape, nice and round. So another way that you can do this twist, and I recommend it if you are dealing with somebody that has really long hair or just a ton of hair, and or somebody that has really fine hair that bobby pins kind of pop out. This technique works really great for any of those people. The people that have really thick, dense hair, you kind of need to get rid of most of it. So using rubber bands will kind of shrink it, and then it'll allow you to roll it and pin without it looking too big and too bouffanty. The clients, again, that has like really fine hair, the bobby pins will attach to the rubber bands and they won't slip out. So it's great. So I recommend always having small rubber bands in your kit. So just in case these little situations come up. So what you're going to do is, again, just going back to, we have it pinned. We're going to come through. You want to use, 2, 3 4 maybe rubber bands, depending on the length of the hair, really. But basically, where the thickness starts to end, that's where you're going to put your first rubber band. Okay, so I'm just going to use 2 rubber bands here, really just to show you. It's kind of funny. So then what you'll do is you'll just start to, again, you can put your 2 fingers, start to twist that hair in, and then take your hairpins and just secure it. Okay, so we're basically ready to put this all together. Feeling the set, there's a lot of control with the set because I use the styling spray, but I do feel like it's still a little soft, so I'm going to go through with our dry texture spray. And what that's going to do, it's a nice hybrid of a working spray and like a dry shampoo. So I really wanted to give the hair a little bit of grip, but I really don't need much. It's just going to help grip it and expand it just a little bit. Okay, so just going to come through, and I'm really going to do it basically at the root area. So coming through, just giving it a little spray. And that's just going to help really kind of thicken this up and give more stability to the shape. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some styling balm on my hands. So styling balm is, it's definitely one of my hero products. I use it on pretty much everybody. I'm going to use just a little bit. You can see it's not a lot. And the reason that I'm doing this is because as I start to break the shape up, it's going to like clump the hair together. It's going to give it a really nice sheen and a lot of definition. And that's really what I want. I'm not going to brush this out with a brush. Again, I'm just going to use my fingers. So just going to come through. Just work it in. A little bit goes a long way with the styling balm. Now that I've started to work the product in, now I'm going to start pinning. And just going to take, I'm going to start more on the sides than the front. I want to leave the front till the end so I can really start to like shape it. So just going to come through and just grab little bits. You see that I'm going to start shaking that hair out. And I'm going to be using hairpins. If you don't like something, your client doesn't like something, you have to take it down. Taking bobby pins out of the hair is not going to be super fun because you're typically going to have to rework a lot of it. So hairpins allows you to be a little bit more forgiving, and if you don't like something, then it's very easy to adjust. So my second row, I'm coming through and I'm going to pin about halfway down. And then the third row, I'll pin again. Yep. So I'm going to just continue that, just coming through and just really lightly pinning up into that the fringe. So you can see that I'm not really paying too much attention to any of this up here. All I'm doing is I'm really just kind of seeing how this is going up. I'll rake my fingers through and I'll show you on this side. Basically, it's raking your fingers through and wherever, like if I like it here, wherever my fingers are is where I'm going to put my hairpin. That's it. That's how you pin. when you're doing a wedding, um, or any type of event styling, once you have it in place, then you can go back through with bobby pins and take those hairpins out and secure it more with a bobby pin. But again, if you don't like something, it's going to be so much harder to take that bobby pin out and readjust than if you just had a hairpin. It's all about just going in with a game plan, right? We had a game plan. We knew that we were going to do a set. We knew that we just needed to section that center bit out for the twist, and it's like boom, boom, boom. We when you have a plan, then things go so much better. You know, I know that when I've gone into situations with updos and just kind of didn't think about it or didn't have a right map in my head, it took me twice as long as it normally would. So, that's when I started really focusing and making myself, like I try to simplify everything. I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I look at styling hair the same as if I'm cutting hair. It's all about creating shape. How are you going to create that shape? Horizontal sections, vertical sections, on base, off base. Are you going to like build it out? Are you going to make it smaller? How are you going to build this shape? You have it all in your head, and then you just section it out and you just get to it. Like you put your texture in, you put your set in, and then you just start pinning. Always look at the client as well. Your mirror is your best friend. If you're on set and you don't have a mirror, if you're on location, then you have to take a step back every now and then and look to make sure that the proportion is right, because there's nothing worse than you're too close here and then when you're done with the thing, it's like lopsided. So take a step back from your work always and like walk around the head and look at it from a distance, because that's important. You can really see shape then. The shape is nice. There is a bit of airiness, so you can see through some of that set. It doesn't look like a solid mass, which would be a bit more dated looking. Um, I think that the only thing that I might do, and I will do, is I'm going to pull this back up just a little bit. I think it's just a little too saggy, so I'm just going to get that out of the way. And then I think, but you don't want it super tight. You want it still to be a little bit loose. So that's nice. I'm okay with that now. So let me know how you did, and if you worked on a mannequin, take a picture, tag me in it so I can see. And I hope you enjoyed it. Next week we will be working on a haircut, and yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you next week.